Thanks, Candace. I appreciate that. Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Burnow. I'm founder and acting CEO at CityScreen Technologies. We're a media tech startup that is creating really new and exciting ways for brands to engage with their target audiences. And I realize this is a developers conference, and I would like to take the first couple minutes here before we dive into code and before we get under the hood. Um, I'm looking at code and understand the bigger context of what's going on here and why CityScreen is such a valuable asset to add to your toolkit and how it's going to help you generate revenue. There is demand for this, and we realize from working with developers from around the world that you've really got to stop and think about developing for large format displays. We're so used to developing for the mobile web and for web applications, but developing for the big screen requires big thinking, and that's a lot of fun. But instead of diving right into the code, I want to spend a couple minutes and take a look at the value that we add to brands and advertisers who are looking to connect with their target audiences outside of the home. A good way and a good context to put this in is the billboard industry. So if you stop and think about billboards, all kinds of things may come up in your mind. For me, it's driving on the interstate and seeing every mile or so a billboard advertisement trying to sell me air conditioning or whatever it is. But billboards have been around for a very long time. They have, in my opinion, been around since the beginning of the printing press, although that's pushing it a little bit. But today, the billboard industry is worth about 7.9, almost $8 billion. When you stop and look at how technology has changed the way brands connect with their target audiences, obviously the fact that there's 5 billion active cell phones in the world today has changed the way brands interact with their target audiences a lot. But one thing that is kind of a sleeping dog, if you will, is the number of smart TVs that are out there and how underutilized they are. And the fact that virtually zero of them are connected to smartphones makes a massive opportunity to create a new way for brands to communicate. And that's exactly what we do. You see, today, these billboards that we see throughout the cities and along the interstate systems are kind of standalone. There's really not a whole lot of context. You're driving down the street, minding your own business, and then you see an ad for Botox or some lawyer, whatever. CityScreen really changes that and uses geo-targeting technology, 5G technology, and smart screen technology to create ads in context based on location and based on user. These are big industries too that we're about to disrupt. The digital out-of-home industry by 2024 is expected to be at 29.6 billion. Smart TV industry at 60 billion, and our market share or our addressable market within that is $13.4 billion. So it's definitely a market worth addressing and going after. But there's a number of problems that we solve, and those problems are really where we need to focus right now. For consumers, they're no longer interested in one-size-fits-all advertising. They expect more from the brands that they love. They expect more from the brands that they want to interact with, and brands understand this. They know they need to create brand experiences. For advertisers, advertising right now, the digital advertising industry is really imperiled. The click fraud is out of control. The lack of reporting and the lack of transparency is really out of control. And the only people who are really getting paid in this are Google and Yahoo and the other large advertising platforms. And finally, in the mix are retailers and broadcasters. These are people who have public-facing smart TVs in their venues, whether it's a retail store or a place like an airport or a bus station or train station or a live event venue like a stadium. These are the three constituents that we serve. The technology that we use, definitely 5G. It's changing the game in terms of what types of content and experience can be streamed. The smart TV technology, this is hyper underutilized right now. There's a number of smart TVs out there, but most people, if you walk into a retail store, if you walk into a bar or a restaurant, are just playing ESPN or some channel that kind of fits the demographic. We change that and create a ton of opportunity for these venue owners to add new revenue streams, and it's really very exciting. WebRTC technology is technology that allows a smartphone to connect seamlessly without any third-party apps to download uh, to a smart TV. So there's a number of technologies here that you're probably aware of, and they're super exciting. And by working in our dev platform, you're going to be able to start using them and using them to scale. So yeah, this is just like a basic demo that kind of shows, illustrates that nearby mobile devices can opt in to communicate with a smart TV. And both the mobile device and the smart TV are connected through the CityScreen cloud through a WebRTC connection. And this allows for all kinds of incredibly cool, highly engaging, and profitable experiences to take place on our system. So basically, CityScreen is a platform, just like Uber or Lyft. Basically, people who have public-facing smart TVs in their venues, restaurants, bars, doctors' offices, any place you see smart TVs in a public area, can sign up, and broadcasters and advertisers, brands and advertisers can sign up to display their ads on those public smart TVs, all on the CityScreen platform. And that's exactly what we do. In addition, we have a lot of analytics that can help brands and advertisers make really good decisions about where their ads appear. It's all blockchain based and all smart contract based. So transparency is it's uber transparent, hyper transparent, and hyper secure. And we also offer a number of professional services, and that's exactly where the developers come in, is being able to develop for large format display ads, as opposed to just developing for mobile or for web applications, developing for large screen format transmission. So we know from a go-to-market strategy, we're very specific about what we're looking for in terms of where we're looking to put our technology. We know retail locations are really going to derive a lot of value from having CityScreen applications on their public-facing smart TVs. Hospitality as well. If you can imagine, when you get into a hotel room, the first thing you do, turn on the television, and instead of just playing the local news or instead of playing CNN, you can provide hyper-local programming and advertisements that can really enhance the stay of the guest in your hotel. Civic places like airports, bus terminals, train stations, that sort of thing, and live event venues. I'll get into later in our discussion about why I have Uber here. We're specifically referencing how their go-to-market strategy, how Uber, one day nobody heard of it, and the next day it was on everybody's phones. They had a brilliant strategy for going live, and we've paid close attention to it and studied it, and we plan on following it relatively closely, with a few caveats. Our global footprint here at CityScreen, I personally live in Florida, but operate out of New York City and Los Angeles. And we are developing technical ops in Panama City, and we're developing our graphics and front-end development out of Bucharest, Romania, teams there. So there's a number of incredible benefits. I'll come back and go over these in a little bit more detail. But really, it's reimagining the role that smart TVs play. Instead of just connecting it to your cable box and streaming cable, there's a lot more that can be done with that technology, and create incredible experiences. And if you have a public-facing smart TV in a bar, a restaurant, a retail store, if you're a physician, it's in your waiting room, or if you manage a hotel chain, in the rooms, in the hotels, that you can really connect and engage and help brands reach their target audiences in new and exciting ways. And that's it. So again, my name's Chris Berno. I'm founder. We are still actively developing our founder team. We're pretty new, but our development platform is open for developers now, and we're very excited to have you on board. Just so you know, we are in the process of raising our final $3 million right now for our go-to-market strategy. And so if you are interested in other types of relationships with us, we believe that we'll be able to engage in discussions by the fall of 2019. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover. Hopefully that kind of gives you a little bit of context. Hopefully it generates more questions than answers right now, because that's exactly what I'm hoping for. And I hope this was a valuable start anyway. And then later this afternoon in our breakout sessions, me and my team will be on the floor, and we'll be opening up our DevOps environment. And we look forward to working with you guys out there on the floor and seeing what you come up with in terms of creative ways to display large format. Thank you very much. I'll look forward to seeing you guys out on the floor later this afternoon.